Oblivion Remastered, the game that makes a man feel love, joy, and passion for the Elder Scrolls once again. Not something that happens often anymore as we're stuck getting Skyrim 8 times and touching ourselves to ESO every year when a nice little trailer comes out and the new DLC drops. This is our second part, and today Rickon is going to become a changed man, a religious man, a man of the nine, as he will go on a journey to not only become the godly knight that he shall become. We start with Rickon staring into the sky as he walks into the Cloud Temple. Rickon goes to be nosy listening to these two
Oh, Jesus
blades when
Christ.
Joffrey comes out of nowhere, jump scaring him and me, making me piss my pants,
Ah,
as well as Rickon
funny
shit
you
in his
asked me
in his
that,
diapers.
Joffrey.
For some reason, I sound like I'm in a toaster
This is
oven,
a rival
so
Bible.
just ignore that. It's okay. Joffrey overall just comes to check in and ask if we got the book that was needed. We tell him yes. He then just turns around and walks off. And I mean, it's kind of rude, but says nothing. We then go speak to Martin, telling him that we have the book and have not recovered the Amulet of Kings,
Smoking.
as he then reacts in a very harsh manner, upset that this evil, evil, evil book is in our hands and he will take it from us, using his dragonborn lust to keep it at bay even longer and to go find
Joffrey.
Joffrey.
Joffrey will
But
find me,
Joffrey will
bro.
find us when it's needed because
I get tired of
that's
that
just
guy.
that's just Joffrey.
Oh, my
Rickon and
king.
Boris have a moment together where they hate on the
Me too,
Mythic
brother.
Dawn before Rickon
I did.
leaves
Fuck
finding
those
Joffrey.
guys.
We find Joffrey. Joffrey says
Dude, I
something.
thought
He then leaves going into this building. We
Joffrey
follow
was a
him in
brother
because we
like me.
need him.
I,
He
I
then
thought.
throws
Okay,
shit.
fuck you.
We
I
confront him
thought maybe
about it.
that like.
He answers to no one. He then appears out of nowhere saying, "Yes." Joffrey then commands Rickon to go hunt down a bunch of spies for the Mythic Dawn. He obliges, of course, because he wants to upset Joffrey. He seems to be
I'll
a
touch him.
Daedric
I'll
entity
touch
of
him.
his
I'll touch him
own
for you.
who is
I'll do it for
constantly
you.
in a state of anger and lust.
Damn, you got pretty eyes, bro.
No
I
matter
was
what I
looking at the
say
Halo
or
images.
what you think,
Um, Spies.
it wasn't gay. I find this blade member who has very pretty eyes and got lost in them and couldn't help but to stare into them for like 5 minutes and compliment him in a not gay way. I then find the
Uh,
runestone and wait till nighttime. Rickon awakes from his hybrid slumber. He goes into a hibernative state at
whoa.
times, fast
Hey
traveling throughout the
guys.
day, and awakens to a
Jarl.
Mythic Dawn group of assassins, the ones that we were waiting for, the spies. We question who Jarl is as we go to the stone and activate the power of Britain and begin shanking the fuck out of these guys,
Why is there
teaching
so
them a
many
lesson.
of you?
Rickon owns these streets.
Who is
Pussy.
Jarl?
We get sidetracked as Rickon heads to the arena, staring into this bitch's eyes as he wants to cut her throat. We talk to our fight master and then begin to go up so that way we can rank up once again. But God, we didn't know what we were getting into. I'm just joking. Rickon slays this stupid orc. We mock him and then spit on his corpse before leaving the arena to rank up. Some would say we even hawk Tua on his orcish soul. So we then keep fighting and have a few close calls, get our health down real low, but we keep winning. We stay on top. Rickon is truly a warrior overall, and a zaddy. After having a bunch of fights at this point, we get a little curious, so we go and we talk to the grand champion. I want to understand what kind of piece of meat we're going up against, and I need a vague idea of what this bastard looks like. Rickon needs to know. He needs to square up before we even get to that point, and we do. We talk to him, and this guy's weird. He's weirdly happy. He's very ugly. Looks kind of like Shrek's third cousin. They call him the Gray Prince, but he's not gray at all. The host greets me as me and Rickon go shopping, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was mindlessly wandering around these shops because I was lost. This shit's everywhere. I had no clue where I needed to go. As people keep greeting me and almost tripping over their own feet, it doesn't help my confusion. It only adds on to the stress that the streets are giving me. I eventually find where I need to go, getting some cash, Going back outside to hear some chaos, I turn around to find out that the Mythic Dawn has sent more assassins to attack me personally in the streets, and
Oh,
I didn't
whoa.
like that. So me and this Imperial Guard here forcefully abuse these people
Assassins?
to death. I was really just trying to shop. Now we continue shopping.
Yeah.
My gods intended. You know, I keep finding weird shit while shopping. This guy's eyes are not focused on me.
Buddy.
They're just looking at the
You're looking up
ceiling.
at the roof.
I don't know if he's
I'm a, I'm a,
if he's
I'm a,
seeing
I'm a,
something I'm
I'm a
not,
tall
if he's
man.
distracted, but
I,
it's not normal to talk to somebody and pretend like you're locking eyes with them, but you're just focused on the ceiling. It's like there's two magnets in the top of his head pulling his eyeballs upwards.
police brutality,
I get
baby.
permission from
I've got
the
the
eyeball guy
permits.
to go
Show
search
yourself too.
this imposter's house. I accidentally start paying this Imperial Guard to like me, and I I just cry to
Oh,
myself
I'm
and
just
go on about
paying.
my day because I have to actually pay people to like Rickon. And at the end of the day, that's not the
I
goal.
need that
I
money.
go inform Joffrey that the deeds are
If you want
done.
the
I
proof,
have
do
taken
so,
out
dude.
all these little bitch assassins as well as some arena folk. I got a little sidetracked, but that's part of the business. He then sends me to Martin, where Martin then tells me that I must wait for him to decipher more stuff as of like Daedric artifacts for a ritual or something. I don't know. It's not really my problem at the time, so I continue on because why not? I then hear that there is a preacher nearby, and you know Rickon's been suffering with some holy problems. So we go pay the city a visit. We travel, you know, and talking to this preacher for the penance of the gods. He's just a humble guy. You know, what kind of journey could he send us on that I couldn't handle, that Rickon couldn't handle? So he talks about Umaril and then a bunch of random shit. Umaril's returned. You know, that's not good. He's going to take over, blah, blah, blah. That one of the devotees will send me along my way. And I just, you know, Rickon just tones all that out and is like, oh, okay, relics. We're going to collect the Crusader relics, the God relics. So we start our mission to go and pray at every altar of the nine throughout Cyrodiil. We walk outside to begin our journey where we find Mike the liar spouting some random shit where he then turns into the Flash and zooms away, sounding like some of the Flintstones. We pray at our first shrine, the Shrine of Arche. I feel a religious sense about me. Courses through Rickon's body, first of the nine. Now, it wouldn't be true fashion if I didn't get a little distracted, so yes. We end up going through a cave and killing a bunch of bandits, and then somehow we end up in Oblivion. Rickon just shows up there. Just snap, you know, like Moon Knight. We're just there now. We then go through before these bitches start crowding up on me real bad. Fortunately, I still the old ball there, and we get phased back into Nern before he can actually touch my ass. We lock eyes with the random Oblivion portal as it disappears in front of us, exploding, do a bunch of little hell particles, and then we go on about our day. Now Rickon gets distracted once again, finding a cave filled with vampires, and decides that he's going to use his bow to keep his distance. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't want to be infected. Trying to keep my distance and do the Skyrim bow edit move didn't work either because I just kept missing my shots. You know, Rickon's not coordinated enough to do all that. He was just a peasant farm boy, you know? He's just an average guy. So he just pulled out his blade and just beats the shit out of him. Rickon then goes out after stealing their armor, awakening the Imperial City randomly because that's where the next shrine is and we don't know how we got here. But that's fine, we're just going to go to the store and go on. We then find ourselves getting our nuts haggled and swaggled by a scamp here. Sexual assault's real, kids, and I don't accept this. If this ever happens to you, go to scamp1800I'mBeingRaped.com to stop this. This man witnessing the sexual assault of a scamp that had just touched me begins to speak to me. I find out his name is Sir Roderick, and he offers Rickon, you know, a trip on the adventure to find all the shrines with him personally, because he's also looking for all the holy relics and trying to become a holy crusader knight like Rickon. It's kind of a weird offer, so Rickon just stares at him and walks away. Very slowly after telling him yes, that he is one of them. And in all reality, he's just coping because he's a shitty person. We touch up some bandits that are in our path before finding the last shrine where we pray at it and then black out as I think someone put something in our cup. We then wake up to this ancient Crusader Knight speaking to us, as he tells us that he was one of the original 9 knights and is dead, but not with the others. He tells us the location of his holy relic helmet, and that's all Rickon takes from that, and we go on about our day, because why would we care about the focus being on Umaril? We need to get the sick fit first, and become the Nine's only holy divine angel. Now, we get sleepy because we need to level up. And I'm not going to lie, I did not want to pay for a bed. So here's what we do. Here's how you do this. This is how you take advantage of the system. You go into the place. You're like, ah, yes, I'm sleepy. Let me just walk into this room, all right? You walk where all the other rooms are. You walk in there. You close the door, right? You walk in there. You close the door to that room. You're not supposed to be in there, but you do. You then sleep in the bed. You get up a few hours later, just a few hours, because you just need to level up. And then you walk out casually after doing so, and they never suspect a thing. You just got free sleep. You didn't have to pay for that. We find ourselves at the bottom of the little river here outside the Imperial City, looking for the first holy relic, the Crusader's helmet, where we end up in this little cavern fighting skeletons to the death. We take this old knight shit who failed to get the helmet, unlike us. We then go and grab the helmet, leaving through the water once again as we swim back up to shore. We arrive at this town where we're then accused of stealing something. I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about. Innocent till proven guilty. That ass. I fuck this dude. So I just give him gold. Because, I mean, why would I go to jail? Jail's for pussies. Rickon then buys a horse from this little freak. And we go on about our day, continuing our quest. If I'm being honest, I got really tired of walking. It's just a lot faster to hop on a horse and go somewhere, and I didn't want to steal it, so I just paid out of pocket for this one. I then arrive at the Knights of the Nines, little place, their home base, where they tell me that I'm a pussy bitch who isn't worthy of the relics, and I have to fight each and every one of them in order to get them. And Rickon doesn't like that, so he squares up with every one of these pussies and beats them all in a 1v1 combat scenario, where they did tell me that I am now worthy now. Rickon is now available to get these relics, and he then talks to every last one of them, figuring out where every holy relic is, and begins his crusade mission to grab them all, like Pokemon. We arrive at this church where the gauntlets reside, and we try to pick it up, almost like Thor's hammer, and it does not work, for we are not worthy enough to pick this shit up, and it pisses Rickon off enough to go and investigate this more, because he wants this armor. We talked to, what's this guy's name? I don't actually know how to pronounce this. Doesn't matter. Anyways, we talked to him, and he tells us that the family curse is real. So apparently this guy had a family curse, and we just totally ignored it. And whatever this guy is to the other Knight of the Nine is suffering from it. We go talk to Kellen and figure out that he is hostage here, essentially, because he's not cured, and this is not good for him. So then we go back and talk to that guy again, and he tells us that he's a pussy bitch who can't cure him, because he basically just hasn't tried hard enough. So this is where we have to prove that we are just better than these guys, and we learn the spell, and we cure him first try as he slumbers. If I'm being honest, that's not how that went. I thought if I just punched this bitch in the face, that it would just get us somewhere, and it didn't. So I just ended up throwing hands with him for a second before figuring out that I had to cure him with a spell. He excitedly runs around as he's cured, not remembering what I did to him previously, but that's okay. Memory wipes are common these days and get even more common in bars. We then go grab the gauntlets as our first set of the armor. Second set of the armor. The first with the helmet. I arrive at the next place where the mace resides, talking to this man who then glazes us for our duties and says that he was not able to pass the trial, but we will because we are kinky little gods. So we didn't pass it the first try. There's always the second try. Maybe it's like Squid Game. Maybe if we jump across, we land on a certain point, it's fine. We use our bolstering confidence. That's not the case either. Fuck. Third time's a charm, right? You're wrong. Rickon thinks about his life as he looks at these stupid spirits surrounding him, realizing that maybe we need the boots to walk on these. Maybe it's a Jesus walk on water moment. It's like maybe if we used his feet, we could get across kind of idea. Rickon then begins to snoop in on these guys' conversation. Uh-huh. No one says that in a conversation. Well, maybe some weird people do. But we begin to snoop and wait for her to get done politely so we can speak to her. Now, she tells us that in order to get this, we must walk into the woods and do the trial of Standar. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know what to do with this, so I killed this damn bear multiple times, thinking that, oh, maybe, maybe it's because I used a potion. I failed the trial. Let's do it again. Let's kill the bear again. Let's kill the bear again. Um, you know, trying to calm the bear down and not actually fight it was actually the way to do it. And, yeah, no, I did that first try. I'm not no stupid bitch. What do you guys think I am? Totally did it first try. Me and Rickon, smartest guys in the world. They call me Elon, the way I musk. The bear then gives in after we calm it enough, give it some love, and allows us into this place as it opens. And this is where we find the Holy Crusader Lemon Pepper Steppers and slip our little fine feetsies into those little fine boots. So now we walk back to do this trial once again where we have the boots on. We take our first step and it's like walking on water. We're slowly becoming Jesus up in this Holy Night trial. And we go and we grab the mace. Come out to see that Umaril has sent his gang to attack the church, which I don't appreciate. Turns out these boots hadn't adapted to the real world yet, where we then fall through the floor going limp and fall into the abyss of hell. We then float back up like Christ himself, taking on Umaril's gang and defeating them because we are the Holy One. We then get sidetracked as we fight these conjurers and scamps. And I may be thinking, I haven't mentioned the fact that we pass out a lot. Yeah, Rickon's got asthma and Asperger's. Asperger's has nothing to do with passing out. I just felt like saying it because it's a funny word. He has asthma and he passes out pretty often. He runs out of breath. He's short on air. His lungs squeeze too tight. So he gets a little excited when he fights and he just fumbles over, you know? Now, this conjurer, I don't know how he's running down this hill like this, but it's kind of impressive. But he then pisses off my horse where we then jump him and his little scamp. Ah, flame astronaut. Killing him. Bro, listen, I'm not looking at it in a weird way at all. I'm just observing its body. It doesn't look good. It's a flame astronaut. Flame resistant potions. Anyways, after we're done with our business, we go forwards and figure out this little floor puzzle and find this red guard man who has been locked up here for a while. We set him free because we're generous men. He gives us some advice, so we continue on through the dungeon and figure out yet another puzzle, turning all of these statues towards the center to open a door. We then do yet another puzzle where we put items in an order within these chests, and then we get the shield. Rickon then feels a little awful or a little sinful urge. He breaks into this shop where he is then told to get out multiple times, but continues to look at the product that he wants to take and sell. When this Imperial guard comes in, stopping him. You know, as he's saying this, it just hits me like a train. That really racist guy at the very start of the game. You know, if I pay it off, it's easier than going to jail. But I want to go to jail so I can get to him. So we go to prison looking for this guy, looking for his soul, because we're going to make him pay for the things he said to us. Now you may be thinking, that's not very religious. I don't give a fuck. Sometimes you have to deviate onto your own path. No, these guards have daredevil hearing, so the moment they heard me lockpick the door, they were on my ass. They start beating up Rickon before he can even find that little racist pig. And we decide that we're just not gonna do this. Like, look at this. you know, I lockpick the evidence chest real quick, trying to get my stuff. None of my stuff's in it. They debate me. Rickon's asthma kicks in. He then trips and falls on his ass, and they beat him into submission on the ground. So the sidekick of Sir Raymond from earlier shows up, Lathon, and tells us that he tried to fight a wraith, and it beat his little ass in a cave. We just, I guess, agreed to go and get vengeance for him and get a relic because we're nice guys. Python also says that he ran like a pussy because he was afraid. And, you know, usually you wouldn't let someone like that go on an adventure with you, but why not? You know, we give him a chance. Rickon's all about chances. We give him the opportunity to prove himself again to a second master. Me. We find two horsemen outside where one talks oddly sexual to me, calling me by my race. We ignore this and we go on. Okay, so we go to this cave. He shows up to help me. Lathon does to get, you know, revenge for his master, and we start cutting through these skeletons, and before long, we find ourselves overwhelmed. Rickon's asthma kicks in, he falls backwards, passing out, where it looks to me like Lathon gets hit with a right hook that knocks him out. Turns out he's dead as shit. He was not ready for this. He died very badly. Uh, and it wasn't our fault necessarily. He's a grown man, made his own decisions. He's dead as fuck. He died, and we left him there. Rob. I also stole all of his shit and sold it. Unimportant. We go find the wraith and we then fight it to its death. So that way we can get the sword. But it turns out this sword is no longer blessed because the wraith tainted it. So we have to go basically wipe the wraith's cum off at the church and untaint it with more holy divine spirit of the nine. We kill the wraith, where we then go back to the Imperial City, overweight and needing to sell stuff. We then aura farm in the rain in our almost full set of gear as Rickon goes to sell this stuff. I mean, just look at him walk. Look at the aura. I can smell that shit. I can smell it to my screen. I hope you can smell it to your screen too. We go back to the church where we found Umaril's guys attacking it once again. We pass out a couple of times. We kill these guys. A couple people die defending the holy divines. God bless them. And then we go and we re-bless the sword, the Crusader sword. So the prophet gives a big speech. He likes to talk a lot. Overall, it doesn't matter. He just tells us that a bunch of us are going to go kill Umaril, which is cool, and that we have a spell to follow him into the Shadow Realm to kill him in his afterlife from Talos. You know, praise Talos. And before doing that, I got some unfinished business at the arena. There was some Argonians that are waiting for me. We go talk to Owen before going and beating the shit out of these three stooges out here and advancing on. Now, my goal is just to run through these guys to get to the Grand Champion because he kind of pisses me off. I don't like his little arrogant, cocky prick nature. And we get there, and I'm not going to lie, I forget to heal, and he fucks me up. But we have round two. I kill his ass, I steal his stuff, I leave, and that's when it hits me. He's here.
You're the Grand Champion. I saw your fight
God,
against the
he's
Great
here.
Prince. You're the best. Can I follow you around?
His stench hits me like a train. I see him in the distance, that little wood elf bastard. The adoring fan greets me outside the Imperial City walls. He wants to follow me, he says. He's a big fan of me, he says. He wants to rim me, he says. Nervously, I oblige to let him do all of those things but the last. I then go find this castle. I help these guys. Next thing I know, they give me the castle. Kind of strange, don't really understand that, but we live to tell another tale, I guess. Now we own a castle. Rickon's doing pretty well for himself there. The adoring fan's still up our ass. Something's got to be done about this guy. Why did we tell him yes? There's just something about him. It just made me want to say yes. It's like he peer pressured me. Anyways, we get through here. We fight Umaril. or I do. I kill him, and then we go to the afterlife, or I do. Sorry, let me say that again. I go to the afterlife, and then I kill Umaril again, defeating him once and for all. Wasn't that tough. You know, they talk about these little demons like they're these tough guys. Nah, Umaril was a bitch. He didn't want the fade. He got what he deserved. We go back with the nine, tell us the old nine knights for Rickon's time, tell us that we have done them a favor, we've done what they could not, we killed Umaril and sent him back, and we are forever in their debt. Oh, sorry, they're forever in my debt, and that they love us essentially, and to go on being the only holy one. But the guys that we were with actually survived, and they come and greet me, telling me that they thought I was dead. They found me dead, but they didn't want to reveal it to everybody, you know, to scare them, make them sad that Rickon's gone. Turns out, you know, I'm alive, very, very well. Rickon's alive, very fine. And he goes outside to give a long-ass speech telling everyone how I'm daddy and how Rickon's still alive. I mean, that's cool. It's a nice speech. You know, I've done a lot. Rickon's done a lot this episode. We then ore a farm on a rock. You know, I was rather happy to think that the Dwarf fan died. I believe he died because I didn't see him make it out of there. He wasn't there when I left the door. We turn around, and there he is, standing behind me brainlessly, with a torch. Alright, we're gonna have to do something about him next episode. Because fuck that guy. But hey, you know, you liked what you saw? You like these wacky adventures? You want to know what happens to the Dwayne fan next episode? Want to know what happens next on Rickon's journey through Oblivion? Leave a like, subscribe, comment, get your asshole for me. Tell me about your day. Tell me what kind of videos, what kind of content you want to see next.